Hi, I'm Jennifer Schramm. This is day 33 of our 40-day journey inspired by A Course in Miracles, undoing fear and remembering love. Today's idea is, in my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. It sounds like the Course is telling you not to stand up for yourself or not to set boundaries or not to protect your well-being, but that's not what it means. Defenselessness in the Course is not about behavior. It's not about becoming passive or silent or pretending things don't bother you. Defenselessness is an inner state. It's a way of meeting the moment without the ego's armor. A way of meeting the moment without the ego's armor. What does defense actually even mean? So defense is that instant contraction arises inside you. So like the tight chest, the urge to explain, the need to prove you're right, the story that says, I'm under attack. Defense is the ego preparing for a fight, even when there isn't one. Defenselessness is the opposite of that. It's the quiet presence that doesn't need to win, convince, or protect an identity. It's the part of you that knows your worth isn't on the line. So here's a simple example. I've got a few here for us. So first one is someone criticizes you or says something that feels sharp. So your ego jumps in right away and says, how dare they? Or I need to explain myself, or I have to prove I'm right. And your whole body tightens. That tightening, that rush to defend is what the Course is pointing to here. That is defense. So now let's imagine a different response to the situation. So you hear the comment, you feel the sting, but instead of reacting, you take one breath. So you hear it, you feel the sting, and then you breathe. You recognize it, you notice, I'm feeling triggered. Ooh, that just got me. And in that pause, the urgency to fight softens. You still might speak, you still might clarify, you still might need to set a boundary, but you do it from steadiness, not from fear, that initial reaction, that defense that comes up. That steadiness is called defenselessness. So let's look at another example. So you're in a disagreement with someone that you care a lot about, and your mind wants to replay every point you need to make. Your body is tight. Your voice wants to speed up, but then you pause and you ask yourself, what am I actually trying to protect right now? What am I actually trying to protect right now? Is this about truth or about being right? That moment of honesty softens the whole situation. You can still speak your truth. You can still set a boundary. You can still walk away if you need to. So defenselessness doesn't remove your power. It removes the fear behind it. So it doesn't remove your power. It just removes the fear behind it. So let's look at another example. So someone misunderstands you. So somehow you're misunderstood, and your instinct is to send a long text explaining everything so that they won't be upset. But then you catch yourself. You realize the impulse. It isn't clarity, it's fear. Fear is driving. The fear of being judged, the fear of losing connection, the fear of not being seen. So when you notice that the fear is in the driver's seat, your whole system softens. Maybe you respond simply, maybe you wait, maybe you say nothing at all. Either way, you're no longer defending your identity. You're anchored in yourself. So that is what the Course means by safety. What this idea is really saying to us is your safety never comes from defense. So when you're in defensive place or your attack place or fear place, safety doesn't come from there. It comes from presence. It comes from the part of you that doesn't need to fight to exist, that doesn't need to argue to be worthy, that doesn't need to protect an image in order to be safe. Defenselessness is the return to your center. It's where you remember nothing real can be threatened. Now that is where your safety lies. So today's invitation is, at some point today, notice a moment where you feel the urge to defend, to explain, to prove, to argue, or to fix. And just pause. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Just notice that urge, that automatic response that comes up. And just notice that urge and gently say, in my defenselessness, my safety lies. And let the breath come back. Let the body soften. Let the moment slow down. And from there, you'll respond with clarity instead of fear. So let's see if we can take fear out of the driver's seat, or just observe the fear and notice our reaction or how the fear can take us over. And then we pause and we recognize, oh, there I am. I'm defensive again. Okay, so let's just take a breath. So in my defenselessness, my safety lies. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow.